This woman touching up her lip gloss looks like she's getting ready for her close-up, but she's actually an international fugitive, soon to face cameras and a press conference about her capture.
I cried every day for months, and I never, ever forgot about it.
It's been 12 years since Kelly Lynn Miller killed a man when she was driving drunk. But instead of facing the consequences, the alleged former stripper went on the lam. Our Birmingham affiliate WBRC reporting Miller fled 10,000 miles from her home in Alabama to the exotic beaches of Thailand, eluding authorities, slipping between 3 remote islands.
But I can see how going to Thailand would present a lot of problems to law enforcement. That's not the first place you would look.
Her dark odyssey was set in motion years before, at midnight on an interstate highway near Birmingham. The 37-year-old mowed down and killed truck driver Donald Goodwin, who was checking his rig along a highway emergency lane.
She struck the back tandem of his trailer and then struck him. He was knocked about 30 to 40 feet in front of his truck, laying in the emergency lane. His other shoe was then found near his body.
Kelly pled guilty to vehicular manslaughter and was set to report to prison, where she would serve up to 5 years. But instead, the busty blonde posted the $50,000 bond and made a run for it.
I had to inform the victim's family, the difficulty having to tell them that the person that had killed their loved one was not going to face any consequences right now. That was the problem.
Donald Goodwin's sister Brenda, devastated to hear the news that her brother's killer fled the country and punishment.
She knew what she did that night. She knew when she left. She was so messed up, and then she didn't even care when she killed him. She didn't care.
After touching down in Thailand, Kelly Lynn Miller seemingly vanished, changing her name, going from blonde to brunette, and tossing her passport in the trash. Though unconfirmed, the Daily Mail reports Kelly worked as a prostitute, easy money for a down-home Alabama girl, turning tricks in a country known as a sex trade cesspool. But speaking to the Daily Mail, detectives say hooking wasn't any foreign concept for the wanted woman back home. Unconfirmed reports say Kelly was involved in sleazy side gigs, like running an escort service and renting out her $350,000 home to shoot porn. Kelly's brother Kevin Miller says he didn't know about his sister's plans to flee and would have tried to dissuade her if he knew what she was up to.
She got something from the court telling her you have X amount of days to report or else. She just made a split-second decision, and it wasn't the right one, that's for sure. But looking at what she was thinking about, what was going through her head at the time, I see why she did it. Unfortunately, I couldn't talk her out of doing it.
Kevin says within a few weeks of her disappearance, he got a Facebook message telling him she was okay. But then the communication went cold. Years passed with no word from his sister. But Kelly's luck was about to run out after tourist police from Phuket got a tip that an American fugitive was living under the radar on the island of Koh Lanta. Police monitoring her movements for a month before making their arrest.
I don't know of anybody that successfully gets away from the system. There's just too much that can go wrong. I mean, a photograph, a computer login, a letter from home, a letter to home. There's just so many ways now that law enforcement can find people, and they're very, very good at it.
Kevin Miller says he was floored when pictures surfaced of his sister at the press conference.
It was shock. I mean, who does this happen to? I mean, who flees to Thailand?
Brenda overjoyed at hearing the news about the capture of Kelly Lynn Miller.
This is the best news that I could have got concerning my brother.
And once she was back on U.S. soil, the fleeing felon made a splash, speaking to reporters before heading to jail.
For the man's family, for Donald's family, I know that they have had to suffer a lot.
Brenda believes those are hollow words from a selfish woman, more concerned with putting on a pretty face.
She'd walk through the courtroom with her head up and be perfect and parade around in front of us, and it was just about more than I could stand.
Now back in custody, Kelly not only faces the 5 years she was previously sentenced to, but is expected to face a misdemeanor charge for jumping bail, a consequence that does little to ease Brenda Bagwell's suffering.
I would give anything if I could tell him that she is going to have to pay for what she did.